Guys, it's Friday afternoon. I have a cold, I'm sniffly in the nose, and I'm still here doing this for you. Let's get into it. This is day 4 in my series where I'm launching a Shopify store from scratch. And today I'm going to tackle the parts that everyone wants to skip. Things like setting up payments, shipping, taxes, and all the legal business stuff. And if that sounds like a boring video, well, don't worry, I'll keep it short and sweet for you. I've already done all of this stuff on my site, so I'm just going to show you what I did and talk about all of the different steps along the way. If you missed days 1 through 3, you can check them out by clicking on this playlist here. Basically, I already set up the store and connected it to Gelato for print-on-demand products. I then also edited my homepage to make the store look a little bit more ready for launch. Now let's get into the boring stuff for today. And speaking of boring stuff, I had a few things to do around the house before I could actually film this video. If it's your first time seeing this series, I am a dad now. That's why I'm calling this series the Shopify Dad. And my everyday life is consumed with being a dad and trying to do my job as well. The idea with this series is to show that anyone in any situation can still be an entrepreneur, and hopefully this inspires you to do whatever it is that you want to do with Shopify or WooCommerce or any other kind of side business. It's not hugely important what I'm doing or exactly how I'm doing it. It's really just that I'm giving it a go. So I thought I'd start off with the legal stuff. At the moment, I don't have a registered business and I'm not VAT registered either. Now I am located in Poland, so eventually I will have to register a business. But Poland does have this thing called, now let me try and read this here, hang on. Działalność nierejestrowana. Oh my gosh, that is a mouthful to say, but it basically translates to non-registered activity. Now, this allows you to earn up to 3,500 Polish zloty per month, which is about 800 euros, with no business registration, no payments to Social Security, and you only have to file your taxes once per year. Now, assuming you stay under that limit, then you can continue this business activity indefinitely until the law changes or whatever. But if you exceed that limit, you do have to register within 7 days. So I'll be monitoring my business very closely and see when I get close to that limit, and I will definitely be registering. In my case, with sales around the 40 to 50 euro mark, it's not until I make above 20 to 30 sales a month that I'll actually need to worry about this. So that's all good. Now we can move on to payments. So what I mean by payments is the actual method that customers will be able to use in order to check out through your store. Now, Shopify has their own software. It's called Shopify Payments. There are third-party apps and providers within the Shopify ecosystem, but I'm not looking at those today. I'm just going to set up Shopify Payments. They do charge a little bit on the side of fees, especially for a small store like mine, but I'm just going to have to swallow that for now for the convenience of what they're offering. There aren't too many steps to this. You basically just have to select what kind of business you have and then provide them with personal information and bank account information. So that's obviously not going to be something I show you in this video, but you can get the idea of how to do that and obviously do it for yourself when needed. Now, just to clarify, Shopify will ask what kind of business you are, and I put myself down as an individual or sole proprietor. And in your case, just be honest about whatever your situation is. Another type of payment that I set up was PayPal. And this is just linked to any PayPal account that you may already have, or if you want to create a new one, obviously you'll have to go through those steps as well. And then you just connect it to Shopify following the steps within the platform, and then do a couple of extra steps on PayPal as well, including disclosing what sort of business you are there too. The last thing I'll mention is that my Shopify Payments is set up in test mode right now while I run some test orders. This is important if you want to run through some test transactions. You can use a fake credit card and run through and test the order process and make sure everything is running smoothly. But before you do that, if you're connected in with an app like Gelato, you should also check the order approval process within your store. And I've gone ahead and set that to manual in order for me to approve orders before they get sent to any printing providers, because I don't want to create a fake order which then gets actually printed and shipped off to some random address. So just make sure that you have everything in kind of testing mode if you're still setting things up and you're not ready to launch yet. The last thing you'll need is a business phone number, because if you put your personal phone number, it will actually show up on customer billing statements and things like that. So if you don't want them to have your own personal number, then you will need to come up with something different. Okay, so enough about Shopify payments and PayPal. Let's move on to the fun bit, taxes. Now, taxes obviously did confuse me as well as probably everyone else in the world at some point, but it's not that complicated with a print-on-demand store. You just need to understand that with print-on-demand, there are two taxable moments. The first is when I order something through Gelato. When an order is made, I'm essentially sending an order to Gelato through my store, and they're going to provide the products and services through their suppliers, and they're going to tax me for that. The second taxable moment is when a customer makes an order, and that tax is sent to me as the store owner, and I have to remit that tax to the local government. So this brings me to VAT, value-added taxes in Europe. Now, at the moment, I'm not VAT registered. As a new business, I'm way below the threshold to even bother with that. So that does actually change things a little bit for me. If you're VAT registered, you would add your VAT number and add all the details needed in the setup for taxes. That will mean that you can actually reclaim the tax that is spent on these goods from Gelato. But that doesn't apply to me, so I basically just tick the boxes that says I'm not VAT registered. And since I'm not VAT registered, I also don't collect VAT from customers. So I still have to pay VAT to Gelato. That's unavoidable, and that's just going to be a cost for me. And if I ever reach a point where being VAT registered is necessary, of course, I will follow those steps and reset up things in my store and tax processes so everything is being properly accounted for. The final thing is that if I make income from the store, I still have to pay income tax. This is done separately from the store though, and it's nothing to do with Shopify or the setup here today. So I don't have to worry about that right now. Now, in order to see how all this is set up, you need to go to your main Shopify dashboard and then click on Markets over here on the left. And you can see which markets you already have set up, and you can also set up new ones using the prompts here. So if you take, for example, this Europe zone that I already set up, I added Europe, which includes all of these different 26 countries, and I've set it to use local currencies. And for taxes and duties, I've stated that I'm not collecting, and more specifically in the tax display, I'll show as included. So customers will see that taxes are included in the purchase price. However, because I'm not collecting VAT, I'm not actually charging them taxes on the sales. I know all of that is quite a lot of information and it might be a little bit confusing, but basically I'm just letting Gelato handle all of the details of these things. And on my end, things are much simpler, at least for now. So the last thing we have to set up now before we can test our checkout is the shipping options. Now with Gelato, this is actually surprisingly simple because the print-on-demand service also handles the shipping, handling, and fulfillment of the products. So by connecting Gelato to my Shopify store, I've effectively already set up shipping in advance. There is one setting I need to worry about. In the stores section of Gelato, under settings, if you scroll down, there is an actual setup for shipping configuration. And if you have a more advanced plan with Gelato and as well as with Shopify, you can set up some live shipping rates. But for all beginners, I definitely recommend this enabling flat rates. This is just normal shipping rates which are charged based on location. And so people in Germany will always pay the same amount of money as other people in Germany, regardless of where exactly they are within the country. Make sure you leave the Gelato shipping profiles enabled if you don't want to handle all the shipping stuff on your own. Basically, just to make sure that Gelato does it for you. Let's see what that looks like on our actual store as well. So if I go into my store's settings and I click on shipping and delivery, you can see here that there's this app shipping profile set up. And Gelato is actually setting up all of my shipping rates for the different countries that I sell to. I was a little bit confused at first because you can see that there's no shipping rates for customers to choose from. This is a little bit confusing, but I've tested this already. When they get to checkout and they select their country, they will see the flat shipping rate that we set up on Gelato. And I'll show you that in the next section of the video. So the great news is we don't actually have to go through here and change any of these settings. You can look through them and make sure everything is set up to your liking, but it actually won't really impact how things are done because Gelato is actually handling the shipping and fulfillment on their end. Now there's one more thing I did set up, and that is a shipping discount, or that is a free shipping option when you spend a certain amount. So if you go into your Shopify discounts, you can see I've set up a free shipping on all products, minimum purchase of 100 euros. And this applies for all countries that I sell to and applies to shipping rates under 10 euros. I capped it at 10 euros just to make sure that I don't hurt my margins by doing this. But I probably should actually be careful with that because if people are ordering multiple products, then the shipping rates, the flat rates that is, are going to go up to a higher level. So that might actually negate the free shipping option. Perhaps I will actually remove this or just edit the number in the future. But I just wanted to show you that it's possible to do that just to make sure your margins aren't hurt too much. Now you can see this is applied to all customers, and there's a minimum purchase amount in euros of 100, and you can change this to whatever number you want. And you can also combine it or choose not to combine it with other types of discounts. I don't have any other discounts set up on my store, so this doesn't really matter at the moment. And you can see that there's a start time, and you can also set an end date for this if you want to, but I think this is the kind of discount you would leave always available and just play with the numbers as needed. The last thing I did to promote this is I added it to my site's banner. So you can see here in the announcement bar, you can click on this and you can edit how the announcement bar looks in terms of the color scheme, the size, padding, and all that. And then if you go back here within the announcement bar, you have the different blocks, and this is the main announcement block. So you can actually see I've written the note, free shipping on orders over 100 euros. And this is basically always going to be showing on the top of the website. And you can play around with the size of the text, the font, etc., etc. You can also link it out to anywhere you want to. So if you're changing this announcement bar to promote a certain product, you can also add the link there as well. All right, so let's run a couple of tests on our checkout to make sure everything is working properly. First of all, I have this softcover photo book. It's a test product. The cost is $23.44, and with this 20 centimeter version, that is. Now, one little problem I'm going to have is I don't want people to just buy this product without personalizing it. So I'd rather they didn't have these payment options available just yet. But they should actually first have to personalize the design and then go on to the checkout. But besides that issue, let's see how it looks when we click on more payment options. That will bring us to our checkout. And this is Shopify payments in action here. So for those people who are actually in Germany, they'll see this. If you're in France, you might see something slightly different. Let's just check out another country which I know is different, which is like Poland. And in Poland, you can see the local currency of zloty and other things like the local payment options like Blik. This is something I know is available in Poland. I don't know if they have it in other countries, honestly. So if I want something to be delivered to Poland, let's just add a couple of details here. I've got a little saved profile here, and we can see the flat rate of shipping is 24 zloty. And if you're wondering, I'm not sure exactly how much that is, but it's around 7 euros or so. So it's not the cheapest, but it is being shipped from another country. If, for example, we put in the details for Germany, then we can see the rate is only 3 euros and 64 cents, which is very nice. Now, obviously, if you want to test out the actual payments, you can add things like credit card details, or you can test out the PayPal as well, review the order. So you can see how much everything will cost, and you can click on the Pay Now button if you want to test out the order. Make sure you're in testing mode, of course, and make sure that the order fulfillment doesn't go immediately through. Otherwise, you'll be in a little bit of trouble with Gelato. One other thing I wanted to test out is if my $100 for free shipping discount is working. So I added 5 of these softcover books into my cart for a total of 117 euros. And now instead of the shipping being $364, it's actually free. So you can see it's crossed out and free. Now, if you're wondering if it's free, who's paying for it? Well, actually I am. As the store owner, I will be paying that shipping cost. It's important for me to make sure that the order amounts and the margins are high enough that I can cover any shipping when the orders are large enough. But obviously before launching, you should make sure that all of these different payment options are working in testing mode, and then you should be good to go once you switch to live mode. So all that said, honestly, it was a lot less scary than I thought it would be. It took me basically just an afternoon to go through all of these steps and set up all of my different bank account options and tax settings and things like that. The main thing was I just needed to understand what was needed. And in your situation, it'll probably be different than in my situation. Soon enough, I will have to register this business, maybe in the future register for VAT as well. And perhaps all of the information in this video is actually inaccurate, and some accountant is going to write a furious comment down in the comment section and say, Sam, you're doing everything wrong. If that's the case, I will make a follow-up video to this. Maybe I'll even delete this video and remake it entirely. But the point is, I'm learning, I can make mistakes, and I can fix them before going live. So that was day 4. In day 5, I'm going to be tackling the legal pages like the privacy policy, terms and conditions, things like that. And I'll be adding all those pages to my store, so everything will be good to go before I hit the live button. Make sure to subscribe to see if I make any money at all from this store in the future, and you can check out the playlist here to see all the other videos in this series. And of course, thanks for watching.